I am at a drop and hook, just getting ready to head out of here. It's really beautiful out. It's just such a pretty snowy morning. Oh, that's funny. I put the phone in cinematic mode, and so it blurs things in the background. I just wanted to see how it would look. I don't know if that's more or less flattering. Not that that's the important thing. You know, I am what I am, as the great, I was going to say the late great Popeye said. That's weird. Anyway, so I'm going to enter my paperwork in, but I wanted to tell you guys that I am having the Cascadia of sensors again. I just settled on that. I thought, you know, that's a funny sort of play on words. I love a play on words. And that's because there is precipitation, and it's actually not that bad out. It's it's around 30 degrees. So obviously I'm taking my time. You know, I'm not trying to be a speed demon. Not that I ever am. I'm governed at 65, so I can only be so crazy. But I also, it's funny, last night I was trying to find if there was information on the news about a really gnarly turned over semi accident I saw on my way up north on 294. It was on the southbound lanes, and oh man, it was probably around, I want to say like 4:30. And I felt so bad for everybody behind that, because it was wall to wall, mostly a ton of semis for probably, I don't know, man, miles and miles. And I felt really bad because all those people were just going to be stuck, just total parking lot. It was a semi that was in the left lane, not good. And it was like just on a 45-degree angle, or maybe a little shorter of an angle than that. And I think the driver was probably saved by the fact that the trailer was laying flush. Like the corner of it was laying flush on the cement median or concrete median, and the taper of the tractor was like held away from that by the trailer. So, and there was a like rectangular hole in the windshield in the driver's side. So apparently he had been pulled out of there, or she. But I mean, who knows what happened? You know, it's hard to say, but I generally err on the side of, if you're driving a semi in inclement weather and you turn over, it's because you were going too fast. That said, those roads, that's what makes driving in the Chicago area so risky, challenging, especially in inclement weather, because you are at the mercy of people around you who drive like bleep, because I'm trying not to swear, and I don't like that, because they drive like, and I'm gonna bleep it. Because I am who I am, and I like the way I talk, but I also want to get more people following me, and I think YouTube will put my video in front of more people if I mind my P's and Q's. Policing my language. Anyway, so yeah, Cascadia of sensors. That accident was scary. I felt bad for people, and it was slowing down traffic in the northbound lanes, because all these idiots are probably like taking video with their phones. But then I went online trying to see if I could see something, you know, I'm like, well, enough people probably took video of this. Anyway, yeah, precipitation. Now I'm having sensors, and I'm already having, I just tried to pull this trailer out of a dock that was on a slight, I was on an incline, and I had a hard time pulling it out, and it's empty, and that's so annoying. And the thing is, when I tried to have this looked at by our maintenance, what they did last time was just dry it out so it worked again. They just dried out the sensor or whatever, and then everything works fine. And or as soon as the weather gets dry, it works fine. But that's not fixing whatever the underlying issue is that's letting moisture get in and interfere with the system. So I'm not going to waste time going to maintenance today, but I'm about to go on my 34 tomorrow when I get back to my home terminal. I can't wait. I'm so burned out. Even though I had 2 days that were like non-working days, I think the stress of not working and knowing that you're feeling trapped is just as fatiguing. So I'm just going to have him, I'm going to let maintenance know, like, something needs to actually be fixed. It can't just be dried out, because I can't have this happen every time it snows, because it's still going to snow some. So let's get this paperwork done, and I'm going to head up out of here. And I'm hoping I can get things set up over the weekend so I can start showing you guys some outward facing footage, because it is just so pretty. I love it when everything is covered in snow. It is absolutely beautiful. That's all I got for you. I want to tell you guys about a silly, inexperienced driver moment I just had. So I'm sitting at this chipper. I'm supposed to be getting loaded, and all of a sudden it's like, I think I'm getting loaded, but then the light's red, and I see the green light, And I thought I saw the green light and felt them loading at the same time, so I was kind of confused. I don't know. I'm always a little confused. I'm really tired right now. It's this is the end of my 2 weeks, and I'm actually gonna get like 48 hours off, and I'm so happy. But anyway, so it feels like they're not doing anything, and the light's red. So I'm like, what's going on? So I go inside to try to talk to somebody, and I see the bathroom, and I run over there, and from the bathroom, as I'm walking back out, I see that the light's green, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I go back outside, and the light's red, and I'm like, oh, I was like, what happened? That's them loading me. So so I go inside the office where I checked in, and I was like, did you guys know that your lights are backwards? Okay, someone who's more experienced than me is gonna have a good laugh, because the reason why the light on the inside is green and the light on the outside is red is because it's green to let the forklift operator know that they're good to go in, and it's red on the outside to let me know that it's not okay to move my truck. Sometimes I just have to laugh at myself because that is silliness. Good morning, just another little microwave morning video for you, and just got done making my coffee, and I wish I was driving right now because it's 6:24, which is late. And it's funny how at this company it seems like taking a 34 always ends up creating issues for you when you come back. It can be hard to get started again, and that's because there's usually some type of issue. So right now I didn't have an assignment put on me yesterday, which is really unusual. Normally, like by the middle of the day on Sunday, there's an assignment for Monday morning, and they didn't assign me anything. So I called last night, or texted them, sent them a message in the chat, and I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I didn't have anything assigned yet. And they said call back in the morning with the day staff when the day staff is there. And I was like, uh-oh. So I already went and found myself last night. I found an empty trailer because I knew that there's no way I could wait to look for one in the morning, especially if I waited till they assigned me some type of an assignment, because there wouldn't be any empties left, and then I would have to go hunt for one. And just the one time that they sent me into Chicago, they sent me on a goose chase there, so that ate like 40 minutes of my day. So either way, I'm losing time, but at least now I can do some stuff, because I have good news, which is that I am putting in my notice today. So by the time you see this, I will have given my notice. And I knew that I was looking for a different opportunity, but some things that I've talked about recently really solidified, okay, it's time to make a move. I did 6 months. I felt like that was a minimum. I had maybe considered previously doing longer than 6 months, but I think 6 months is plenty to get the full experience, if you will. And there's people out there that have criticism for the idea of job jumping, and I totally disagree with that. If you're working at a place that isn't serving you, and you've already seen like the different types of flaws and the different issues that are systemic within an organization, and you know that those things aren't going to change, you can beat your head against the wall and be frustrated all the time, or you can just say, I need to do better for myself, and move on. So that's what I did. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about where I'm going. And by the way, I just need to stop and take a sip of this while it's still hot. This is that coffee that the beans are aged in. What is it again? I'm forgetting now. Anyway, it's really good. Let's put it that way. When it comes to talking about who I work for, people have guessed here and there, and people have guessed incorrectly usually, and which is good. And I just am sort of vague about it. I say like I plead the fifth, which is not confirmation. So don't take it to be that. And I'm not trying to be coy. There's two reasons why I don't say where I work. Number one is that from a sort of journalistic perspective, I guess, I want to be able to, I'm not out here trying to get a job and then be like, let me find all the things that I can say negatively about them and spew it out there. I'm not trying to do that, because I'm not trying to attack an individual organization, because the industry is where the flaws come from. I don't necessarily blame one organization. I do anticipate that I will talk a little bit more in depth about this particular job in the future, maybe be more open about the company that I'm actually working for. But I think it's important to, I'm not trying to develop a reputation for going around working for jobs and then bad-mouthing people, because I don't think that this organization is inherently terrible or anything. I think they have some fatal flaws, though. Also, the really important reason is safety, and being a woman alone on the road is inherently not that safe. So the last thing I want to do is be like, here's the truck you should look for with me in it. It's just not a smart thing to do. So Anyway, yes, I'm very pleased to say that I'm making a move in a direction that I think is going to be good for my career, and I don't anticipate having a long career in trucking because I care a lot about my health and it's an inherently unhealthy job. But I'm enjoying it for now. I'm learning a lot. I feel like I've learned as much as I can where I'm at now, and it's time to grow a little bit. So I'm stoked about that. So I would be way more upset about what's happening this morning, which is my clock is just going away, because I had to hook up to a trailer, and that means I had to start my clock and I had to move my truck, so I had to start my clock. And I didn't really want it to be that way, but also, you know, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to start driving until however long it takes them to get me an assignment. They said I would have one. They said I should have an assignment within the hour. But in the meantime, I can work on some other things that I need to get done. And I didn't want to start my clock late and then end up throwing off my whole week, having my mornings be late starts and then not be able to find parking in the evenings. So I went ahead and started my clock at 5:30. It's now 6:30. So that's, you know, 15 minutes I would have to pre-trip, but 45 minutes down the drain. So today is just going to be a lighter mileage day. Unfortunate, but I can't be too upset about it because this is the end of the road here, and I'm just going to finish out these last couple of weeks and move on to hopefully brighter horizons. We'll see.